Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about a bit of a funny story that I had, which relates to a conversation with a client of mine. This happened a couple of days ago, and I realized that a lot of people have this belief when it comes to growing your business through content creation, through inbound channels. And it's something which I realized people have if they don't actually create content, because if they did create content, then they would break through this belief and they would actually go on and know what the truth is, right? And so this video is going to explain that, and it's going to help you to understand how to really grow your business from an inbound perspective, why it is so important to do. But just before we get started, I just want to say that I am pretty sick at the moment. I don't really know why. My voice sounds a little bit different today, a bit flued up. But yeah, if you don't know who I am, my name is Ben Lister, and I help agency owners, business owners by documenting all my learnings right here on this YouTube channel, which currently help me to make about multi-six figures per year. And so the thing that I want to talk about today is that a lot of people think that you need a pretty large audience in order to actually start making money from YouTube, from inbound, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever you want to use, right? And people have the idea that maybe you need to grow the channel first before you then start to monetize it. And I can understand where this is coming from. Obviously you want to build like a bit of an audience, a bit of a base before you actually go and do this. But in reality, if you have 100 people that are subscribed to you, right? And when we talk about YouTube, for example, we're very used to people who have millions of subscribers, millions of views. People mention Mr. Beast and those kind of videos, right? And a lot of people, the only videos they watch have at least like 10 million views, right? And so the idea of someone getting 10 views, 15 views is like absolutely microscopic, right? It's almost funny. It's almost like, wow, it's actually pointless because barely anyone watched this video. But if you actually think about it, my client was working, or still is working, in a sector of home improvement, right? And if he makes a YouTube video that gets 15 views, that's revolved around how to get more leads for plumbers, how to use Facebook ads for plumbers, the only people that are going to be looking at that are going to be plumbers, right? And this is the main thing about this. If you can have 15 people, 20 people to look at your video, they're actively looking for information and they've come to you for information and you've shown them how to do something, you've then got 15 people who are at least slightly convinced, or maybe half of them are convinced that you know what you're talking about and you can actually solve that problem. And so all you need to do is convert 5% of those into a client in order to get your first client from 15 views. And so what's going to start to happen here is very quickly you'll build your channel up, right? But people don't look at it from a perspective where these are actual real people. These are people who are looking for information, they're trying to find something out, whereas people just see a number on the screen like, oh, it's only 20 views, it's only 30 views. Whereas they don't actually see that that's an audience of 20 or 30 people actually looking at you and watching what you're doing. And I know a lot of people that have been able to make six figures or more with less than 1,000 subscribers just from those inbound channels, especially when you look at things like LinkedIn, which can be much, much more engaging. So for example, you can go and create a post and say, comment on this post if you want me to send you this information. People do that and they can have a conversation with them in the DMs. This is obviously completely separate to what YouTube does, where you can't really have that conversation, but what you can do is direct people into a landing page, which is what I do with my YouTube channel just for transparency. But the benefit of being on YouTube or something else, it basically means that you can get recommended quite a lot. The YouTube algorithm is very strong and it can push you to get, hundreds of thousands of impressions. So basically how many times that YouTube pushes your video. I have a video that has like 400,000 impressions now or something like that, which is kind of crazy. So like, almost 500,000 people have seen my face, which is kind of wild. But when you have this benefit, even if you just have 500 people that are watching your channel every single month, right? That's 500 people who are looking at you as some kind of authority in the space. They know for a fact that you can solve these problems, that you're demonstrating on a pretty much daily basis that you can go and solve these problems. And I think people just have this perception that, YouTube is a long game. Like, of course it is. If you want the kind of business or the kind of channel where you're going to build a business that, gives you six figures or even seven figures, then you're probably going to need to do this for at least 2 or 3 years, which in the grand scheme of things is nothing. But if you're looking to get your first few clients today, starting your inbound journey today, and so you can have 100 subscribers in 3 months' time or whatever it is so invaluable. Because as soon as you have that, you then have a channel where you can reliably book 1 or 2 appointments every single week. And it's going to be inconsistent. We have weeks where we book like 10 appointments in a single week, and then we have 2-week period where we book 0, just because that's just the nature of YouTube, right? Just the nature of inbound. But what will start to happen is you'll be speaking to or just being viewed by barely anyone, and you'll still make an awful lot of money from that. if you have a newsletter, for example, that has 10 subscribers on it and you send people emails every single week, right? If you have a conversion rate there of like 5%, you only need to send out like 2 weeks of emails in order to actually get someone to become a client or to book an appointment in the first place, right? And this stuff is so easy to do. It requires the same amount of work to manage a YouTube channel with 10 subscribers as it does to manage a YouTube channel with 100,000 subscribers. And so it really just is the same thing again and again and again. Obviously, you're going to grow it. The compound effects of having an inbound channel is just invaluable to a business. You're kind of exponentially increasing your business just by producing content. And so every single day that you produce more and more content, the value of those previous content just becomes more and more and more, because YouTube is going to push it more and more. The channel's going to grow more and more people are going to see it. More time is going to allow people to go and check it out. And so, yeah, this is basically the conversation that I was having, where they just had the belief that, you know, there's no point in doing it because they're only going to get like 50 subscribers. They're in like a relatively small niche. You know, they're not going to get like 1 million subscribers like Mr. Beast or someone like that. But it doesn't really matter, because if they had 1,000 subscribers in that tiny little niche, then they're able to make 6 figures just from that one channel, just from that YouTube channel, which is kind of crazy, and it's something that a lot of people don't even realize. So yeah, a bit of a quick one today. I mean, I'm kind of been banging the drum of everyone should start an inbound channel or some kind of YouTube channel or some kind of content creation and just stick to it consistently for a while now. But yeah, I've been sticking to it pretty consistently for almost a year. I'm not gonna, well, I'm kind of far off a year, to be honest with you, but I'm sticking through it thick and thin. That's why I'm basically recording this video while I'm basically ill, just so I can get free videos a weekend for like at least a year or two to see where the channel can be at. But yeah, if you stick to it, you do it, you've got a lot of subscribers, but you don't even need that many subscribers to get the kind of appointments and to get the kind of clients that you want. And it's worth noting as well that inbound leads are actually some of the best leads out there, right? You have guys who jump on a call and they know so much about you already. You haven't had to explain who you are. There's no lack of trust there because they know who you are. They know you're quite public. So yeah, I would just recommend starting an inbound channel and you'll sign a lot of clients from it. Cheers.